What's going on, everybody? My name is Zach Hartley and welcome back to another weekly watch list video. In this one, I'm going to walk you through how I feel about the market conditions, and we're going to take a look at the indices. Then we're going to jump into the 4 stocks that are at the top of my watch list going into the week ahead. Here we go. Okay, to start us off here with the NASDAQ, we broke through some very clear resistance that was set back basically at the end of the summer last year. We have broken through that, but last week was a negative week. We saw a little bit of a pullback. Nothing to really worry about though right now until we break below this kind of support level that I've drawn here. I expect us to bounce off of it. It looks like we have started to form a new bullish trend here. We are above our moving averages. We've got good volume. And so my expectation is that this level of resistance that we've just recently broke through is now going to turn into support. Whether or not that hypothesis and prediction holds true, we're just going to have to wait and see. When it comes to the S&P 500, we have a fairly similar pattern forming. We broke through previous resistance, and now we're going to have to see if that resistance turns into support. When we look at the Dow Jones, it's a little bit different. We haven't quite broken through the resistance that was set a little while ago. We've actually been rejected several times at this sort of 34,500 level. And so what's going to be interesting here is whether or not we can break through this resistance here, because if we do, this could be what you would call a reverse head and shoulders pattern, where we've got the head right here and then we've got 2 shoulders right here, and then we're breaking through the neckline. We will have to see if that kind of holds true or not, but it will be very interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks. When it comes to Bitcoin, we have seen a very clear breakout, which is nice to see. We've actually crossed above $30,000, which is great. Those big round $10,000 marks are usually large levels of resistance for us, and we've broken out of this previous kind of channel here that was going in the bearish direction. Very nice to see, great momentum here, and I'm starting to take some trades on this. One of them I will share with you at the end of this video. Now, when it comes to earnings, we don't have a lot going on. This isn't a big earnings week, but we do have some exciting companies. We've got Micron, we've got BlackBerry, we've got Nike, we've got Constellation Brands, and a couple of other ones here. What I encourage you to do each week is take a look at what companies are reporting earnings, and then look up 1 or 2 companies that you've never heard of or that you don't know anything about, because a lot of the time you'll find these little hidden gems that you need to add to your watch list long term to look for a buying opportunity. Braze was one of those stocks just a few weeks ago that just gapped up massively recently. Now, when it comes to the market conditions, we got a couple things going on this week. Number 1, Jerome Powell is speaking on Wednesday. From what he has said recently, it sounds like they have just paused the recent rate hike. It sounds like that is not going to be the same at the next one. It sounds like they're probably going to increase the rate at the next meeting. I believe that one is at the end of July. So we got a lot going on here. The interest rates are high right now relative to where they were over the last, let's call it 5 to 10 years, but they're still low relative to where they were 20 or 30 years ago. And so we could go higher. It is not out of the question here, and we might not be at the top yet. We are entering into the summer months though, which usually means slightly lower volumes, just as people are taking vacations and outdoors a little bit more. We also have PCE data comes out next week. This is basically how much money consumers are spending and the cost of those goods. And then we have high interest rates that are starting to have a larger impact. London and Europe actually have higher interest rates than the US right now, and it is starting to really cause some havoc in the home market, people that have large mortgages. And I could see that coming back here to the United States and Canada in the next, let's call it 6 to 12 months here. So especially if those rates continue to rise at that meeting in July, and then let's say 1 or 2 meetings after that. I don't think there's a lot of people that plan for interest rates this high. And so if you have a large mortgage right now, it might be something you want to consider. Now, when it comes to 4 stocks that I'm watching for this week, Fiverr is one of them. The reason Fiverr is one of them is because $25 has acted as major support, let's call it 1, 2, 3 times recently, 4 times at the end of 2022, and then 5 times and 6 times here in the months leading up to the end of 22. So there is some major support at $25. If you can get to $25 and even just get the bounce up back to 47, that is a beautiful trade. If it falls below $25 though, I might hold off a little bit and just kind of wait and see what happens. I like it though, because if we do start to see the bounce, very easy way to put a stop loss at $24. You have a very little downside here. Very nice risk to return ratio. I think it's a great swing trade. Okay, next one here is EXP World Holdings. I have my eye on some of these real estate companies. EXP is one of them. REAX is another one, Real Brokerage. And the reason I'm pointing this one out is because we just broke out of a pretty solid channel here. We got rejected at $18 twice. We found support at $11, like 10 or 11 times right here. We've recently broken out of resistance, and now we've come back down and tested support at $18. If the stock bounces off of support, the old resistance level that is now going to be support, if it bounces off support, I like this trade for an entry. You can buy in off the bounce, you can set a stop loss at 17, and you can even let it be a trailing stop loss and just let it run up on the next bounce. So I like it. The only downside is I probably wouldn't want to hold this going into the next rate meeting. So this would probably be a short-term trade if we see that bounce. Next one here is Marathon Digital Holdings. This is the Bitcoin miner that I actually took a position in. I own options in this company right now. They expire in December, so they're fairly long term. But with the recent trend from Bitcoin, that breakout, the breakout of 30,000, I am long term bullish on Bitcoin. I am also long on Bitcoin because of my position here. But if we can see a consistent and solid breakout on Marathon Digital, I think this stock has a lot of room to run if Bitcoin starts to run. That's the caveat here, is like this stock goes up when Bitcoin goes up. That's what you need to really think about here. They are one of the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners, and as far as I can tell, they are the largest Bitcoin miner in terms of Bitcoin mining capabilities as well as forecasted capabilities. And so I like them as a pure play Bitcoin mining company. I like Hut 8, but they're starting to diversify a little bit, so it's not necessarily a pure play Bitcoin play, which is what I am looking for in this trade. So that's why I hold Marathon. And then last one here is Drone Delivery Canada. I'm pointing this out here because we have a descending wedge where like it is just slowly doing a zigzag that is getting tighter and tighter over time here. And so I think we're going to see a breakout either to the upside back to like $55 here, or to the downside down to 30 or possibly 20 cents. Either way, I think we're going to see a move. I don't think it's just going to continue to trade in this basically triangle right here. I think we're going to see a break to the upside or a break to the downside. It would be nice to see some positive momentum coming out of the company. They have put out some press releases lately, so it feels like they're slowly marching forward, but it doesn't feel like it's making massive progress at the same time. So something I'm watching here, it is on the radar, it is on the list, watching for a breakout of this pattern here. And if you want to learn more about this, or how I do it, or just kind of how to analyze and manage your own portfolio, I do have a totally free course. It is available on Skillshare. You get 1 month free when you sign up with the link in the description down below. There's 14,000 students that have gone through the course. There's over 400 reviews for you to take a read through, and there's well over 2 million minutes of watch time that have been spent on that course. It's only 10 hours long, so you can complete it in a weekend, and I promise you it'll be the best free course that you can find online. The link is in the description down below. 1 month totally free when you use that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely appreciate it, and I hope it brought some value to your life. See you guys in the next video. Good luck trading, good luck investing, and we'll talk to you soon.